That's going to do it for us here on Good Day Chicago. Stay right here, though. Chicago Now starts right now.
10 a.m. Chicago Now. I'm joined by Anita Blanton.
Hanging around.
Yep.
It's the holiday hustle. Remember,
exactly.
I was telling you the other day. That's what I call it.
Hey, the countdown is on, and we're actually going to be addressing this. A little family tension, maybe. Opposing political views at the holiday dinner table. How do we navigate
Probably not the
this?
place for them. You know, focus on just it being family and maybe not getting into the tricky weeds of things.
Yeah, so for some people, it's too hard to resist, though, Anita.
Yeah. Those who don't want people.
Indeed. Okay, so we're going to learn about how to draw boundaries in a tactful way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it could be something as heavy as, politics. It could be something as light as, like, so when am I getting grandkids? You know?
Or when are you two getting married?
Right. You know, those types of things.
Or why are you parenting that way?
Just focus on family time.
We've got an expert. We've got an expert that's going to be joining us to talk all about family dynamics.
Trying to help you out in case you don't want your own reality show. You know, some folks, hey, if you want the cameras in there and you want them to see how you figure out the tricky parts of your life, that's on you. There's plenty of families who have done that. There's a long list of the families who have taken the reality show route.
Oh gosh, yes. There's people who are it's like flypaper. They are drawn to family drama like a magnet. Others, like me, I go kind of like popcorn eating in those situations. I just disengage.
You sit in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what happens.
That's a good one. Everyone has a role. You know, everyone has a role.
Oh
but yeah, if you and your family don't want the reality experience, maybe just sit inside and watch some reality TV.
There you go.
There's plenty of shows for you to choose from. And there's some now that take you behind the scenes. This could get really interesting in terms of like celebrity life, but looking at it from a standpoint of like backstage.
That's right. We're going to be speaking with the host of the Backstage Experience, which airs right here on Fox 32 Chicago, and they're going to preview the latest episode. That's a little later in the hour, but first...
We're both music lovers, so this should be something that...
Should be.
Yeah.
We actually had a duet, a spontaneous duet yesterday. I don't know, I think we whispered it too much.
We should have been like belting it out.
But I didn't want to. It was the what song was it? That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's that one. The show choir
started
from
it.
Lamont, maybe.
Carmel. Oh, yep, Carmel.
Thank you very much. It's amazing how. Do you ever find, is it my brain that doesn't function?
That shuts down after every show?
Exactly. And where you're like, oh, well, what'd you, a lot of times Theo's like, what'd you cover on the news day? Which is a very sweet question. But I'm like, okay, that was 6 hours ago.
Which means you can't get mad at him when you're like, what'd you do in school today?
I know. Which is, and you know, there are all these recommended questions, so not how was your day, Theo, but you know, hey, what did you eat for lunch? I'm trying to remember that list, but it's harder.
And he's like, gee, Dad, you don't remember your day. How should I remember mine?
Like, what'd you do at lunch? I don't remember. What'd you play in the gym? Don't remember. Yeah, you're right. I can't pull the double standard.
A little grace goes a long way, yeah. But yeah, so we're talking about all things from celebrity experiries to, and celebrity experiences go highs. I mean, the highs of highs to the low of lows, right?
I absolutely agree with that. And when you go into that world, when you make the decision to become a public person,
with all that comes with it.
Yeah, exactly. The people who are tempted, and this goes across the board for whether you're a politician or a Hollywood star, when they try to cherry pick when they want privacy versus when they want publicity.
It is tough.
That's a tough game.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's a hazard of the job.
And people don't have a lot of sympathy for it either.
No.
But it's hard to see, especially when you've watched people on their highs, you know, and you see them go to the low, and you're like, wow, I remember this part of their life.
Oh my gosh. So while we wait for TMZ, I think speaking of high to low, this Michigan coach.
All in one day.
Do I need?
All in one day.
I mean,
oh my goodness. Throw the cards away. Like, we could have a full show talking about this because it was just like, what is going on? And not to say that the actions that led to his firing started all in one day.
Right.
But it was just like, you never know what somebody is going to do when they feel like the walls are crumbling in. So let's say that. If grace goes a long way, we just said that. If grace goes a long way, you never know how someone is going to handle feeling like their life is crumbling. But it just went from bad to worse all in one day.
Unbelievable. I mean, who was it that pointed out 2 weeks ago he's coaching against Ohio State? And now this man, I mean, it's these full-out crisis unfolding before us. We will be obviously following that. We touched on it. Good Day Chicago, but you're right. You could there could be
There's
full
a million
documentary.
stories.
Yeah, exactly.
Million stories, those that are new, those that are old. Michael Babcock with TMZ is joining us to go over them because they're always on board.
TMZ, I'm sure you're going to be following all the latest developments with the Michigan head football coach. Yes.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I was listening to you talk about him. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember a story like that. And whoever pointed out that a few weeks ago he was coaching against Ohio State, and to think where he is today, and I forget prospects for coaching in the future, but just everything going on with his life right now and what he could potentially be facing charge-wise. It's, I mean, what a fall from grace.
Yeah.
Stunning.
And again, so many celebrities go through it. You all are covering several right now, the highs and the lows right now. So one of them that we're talking about, I know right now, is Andy Dick.
Yes.
And watching the videos online of whatever was going on with him, it was so troubling. It was so troubling to see.
Yeah, I know. I could not agree more. It's, you know, people, if you follow Andy Dick's career, if you know anything about him, it's been widely publicized. He's talked about it many times. He has struggled with addiction over the years, and this is not something that has just recently started. For decades, he has had drug issues, and they still unfortunately persist to this day. On Tuesday, broad daylight on the streets in Hollywood, he seemed to suffer an overdose, and thankfully he's okay, but in the moment it was really scary. And one of his friends happened to be live streaming. He said that Andy likes for him to record, you know, kind of a lot of different things they do during the day in, day out, and just document it. And this friend has the video camera rolling, so you see everything that's unfolding. And they were panicked, and they were calling for somebody, to call 911, which happened, and the paramedics were then on their way. In the meantime, though, they were looking for somebody with that Narcan, which obviously can reverse the effects of an opiate. So he was given the Narcan, and it did seem to bring him back. In fact, when the paramedics arrived on the scene, they said that or he said rather, that he did not wish to be transported to the hospital. So he never even went and got medical attention, and they can't force him, so they let him go. The next day, so on Wednesday, he invited one of our camera people over to his home, and he had a conversation with us, and he seemed okay, maybe a bit out of it, but he seemed like he was okay. And he said that he happened to be with some friends. He basically walked away from them for a period of time. He said he found some guy who was sitting on the street and appeared to be down on his luck, and they began talking, and then there were some drugs that were used, and the next thing he knows, he's waking up, and he had this medical emergency. So could have been worse. I just think you hope he gets help.
This is speculation, but you know, we've been hearing so much about fentanyl. I don't know if there's any chatter out there about whether this could have been related to that. Yeah.
So I think that's a good point. He said that he had used cocaine. But as I think a lot of people know, if it's a street drug, you know, who knows what's in these things. And you know, because traditionally then Narcan wouldn't have an effect if it is what Andy said it was. So I think it's likely a mix of a bunch of different things that he probably had no idea what he was using, and he just randomly gets it from a complete stranger who he does not know. And I think there's a good chance, that there was fentanyl in there, and that's probably why he was in the state that he was, because he was out.
It was so horrible.
I'm not saying he didn't have a pulse because the paramedics never got to him, but if he was there, I mean, he was barely there.
Yeah, I just so happened to have watched for the millionth time, another documentary about Whitney Houston over the weekend. And so watching that, I'm thinking like, goodness, we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again where celebrities, you have it all, but you have, you have something that's still not working within you that causes you to use these substances. It's so sad to watch.
Michael, I'm trying to think, but Andy Dick, the last time I feel like I saw him, the old school, that was 25 years ago, right? What is his career doing these days?
I think that's a good question. I think the truth is that he really hasn't worked too much. Because I think that the issues that he is having are just, I think it's obviously taken over his life. And not to say that he couldn't work if he didn't want to, and I'm sure if he cleaned himself up that because he's a known guy. People know him, and he's got fans. You know, for better or worse, if you like or dislike how he's lived his life, he's still a known guy in Hollywood who's had a decent career for himself. And I think he could get back to work. It's just, it probably takes him getting clean. Yeah. And I do think too, it's a good point too that. You think these people have everything, but this is just a reminder that they don't, and that also these drug problems can affect anybody, no matter how much money you have or fame. It knows no bounds, unfortunately. Yeah. So, whether it's drugs or some other type of substance, obviously those can take a career down. What we're watching in this, David, is a totally different side of, again, highs to lows and what is going on. So many different nuances that get thrown into this case. Yeah, it's another really unique story, and it's a tragic story because you've got this poor girl who was only 14 years old who lost her life, and that's the bottom line here. I think a lot of people believe that the investigation has been taking far too long. I'll say they've got the most elite team of detectives in Los Angeles, the robbery homicide division here, who is working on this case. There just has not been much movement. David is a suspect, but he has not been accused of a crime, and he certainly has not been arrested nor charged. There is a grand jury that is happening right now in Los Angeles. It's not necessarily, the mission isn't necessarily to charge somebody, although that is the hope at some point. But the idea is sort of to use it as an investigatory tool to accumulate information. And because of that, they have called witnesses. There was David's manager who testified for about 3 days in front of the grand jury. That ended yesterday. They were grilling him and asking him, and we know this because he was overheard talking to his attorney in the courtroom, or in the hallway rather, during a break. But the grand jury and the deputy district attorney was grilling him about not calling the police. We don't know the context of it, though, but he was getting grilled over not calling the police. So that was the line of questioning that he said they were really digging into him about. Did he perhaps see something? Obviously, there could be a lot of different explanations for that. Bottom line, the grand jury happening right now. David is a suspect. This poor 14-year-old girl has lost her life, and that's sort of where we are.
And he was on tour, right? When all this, when her body was discovered, we keep showing video of the Tesla right there. Body was discovered there. Yeah. In terms of, so this guy, with regard to the grand jury situation right now, is this person being so uncooperative? Is there an uncooperative witness that is part of the situation that is on the verge of getting arrested herself? Is that the case?
That's exactly right. So it's one of the other people that they hope to speak with as part of this grand jury is a female witness. We're unclear who she is or how she may be connected to the case, but she has been uncooperative, so much so that the district attorney is considering getting something called a body attachment, which is similar to an arrest warrant, but essentially what it would be is that law enforcement would go and find this witness and literally take her back, and in handcuffs if necessary, to the to the grand jury room rather, where she would be then made to testify. So again, it's unclear who she is and how she's connected to the case, but they really want to talk to her. So I would think that would indicate that she's someone who may play an important role here.
All right, keep us posted, sir. Nice to see you, Michael.
It's great to see you guys. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye. So much. I mean, again, celebrities. From the outside, everybody wants it, you know, and then you start to dig and you're like, maybe that's not the life you want, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have some really positive stuff unfolding
We
here
need
in
it.
Chicago on a Thursday morning. Today's a big day over at Lurie.
The Lurie Children's Radiothon is going on all day. We have had our crews there as those phones have been ringing. Oh, there's Sonia. Yeah, so this is Radio Row that we're looking at. And then you can see the phone bank in the back where the blue is. And yeah, we want to raise $1 million today, so we need everyone's help.
Okay, so I can't remember the number off the top of my head. I don't know if we have a Chiron or anything. We had a QR code because I just want to help, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
For those who are watching digitally, I know we have links posted. If you're watching on the website right now, you should be able to punch in Lurie. But Jake has been out there, Gabby's been out there, Leon Rogers. And they've got so last year in a single day, all these iHeartMedia stations, along with a little bit of help from us, of course, $1 single day, and this year's goal 1.2.
So right there in the blue shirts, mother and daughter whose lives were changed and saved from Lurie. They were on our show Good Day Chicago yesterday. Beautiful story of spending so much time there at Lurie's, but again, the testimony of one, the life that was saved, and two, a family that's now looking to give back to help other people. Obviously, with the money that's raised today, you're able to help so many different families, whether it's from research, money going to new research to find out what's going on in different people's bodies, but then also expanding the facilities as well. With the money that's raised, they're able to build new facilities to do more work to help more families.
Absolutely. Okay, 888-831-7733. That's the number there. We need all the help we can get on this one. Again, the goal, $1.2 million. And yeah, that's $200,000 more than last year.
It can be done. It can be done. And again, so many people have been calling already just this morning, and it's going on all day. Now, you don't want to wait until the end of the day if you don't have to, but it's going on all day. There is our graphic here. So you can also text Lurie to 34984. Again, text Lurie to 34984 or use that QR code.
Leon Rogers was sitting where you are yesterday, and he was encouraging folks, you can, in a matter of seconds, set up a monthly $20 donation, which goes so far. And the way he phrased it, I like this. He's like, just cool it on the DoorDash once a month. And there you go. For a lot of folks who are in a position to do that.
DoorDash, Starbucks, plenty of things that like one or two, cut back on one or two, and you're able to do some good.
Every time, we're going to go to a quick break here, but one of the most vivid billboards that I pass on the Kennedy Expressway to and from work is for Drag Race The Experience,
Listen,
which is in Logan Square right now.
Workroom. The workroom.
It always catches my eye.
You better work.
I'm like, there she is. So I haven't seen the program, but this is an experience that you can go to. I understand it takes about an hour. It's more of like a immersive situation. And we're going to be speaking about one of the participants, one of the queens from season 10, Dusty Ray Bottoms, will be joining us after this quick break. In the meantime,
use the QR code.
Use that QR code, everybody. Or text Lurie, even easier, 349, just as easy, 34984. We'll be right back with more Chicago Now. We're right after this.
When you walk
the music because the show is about to start.
All right, everyone, the show is starting here on Chicago Now. But if you have been watching RuPaul's Drag Race, you know about the workroom. And so many people are getting ready to get a wonderful inside experience. We want to welcome in a queen from season 10, Dusty Ray Bottoms. Listen, when we say you woke up like this, you were shining first thing in the morning.
Let me tell you something, girl. I did not wake up like this. I woke up at 5
To get into full regalia.
Makeup alone, it takes me about 2 hours.
Wow.
And then 30 minutes, I can put everything else on.
So I can't complain anymore when I'm putting my stuff on.
Anita.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, before the show.
Every day I ask myself, why did I pick this career? Why couldn't I just pick a job where I just roll out of bed and run to work? Next time.
To walk us through the show. If someone has not, and there have been plenty of seasons.
I haven't seen the show.
Plenty of seasons, but if someone has not seen RuPaul's Drag Race, tell us a little bit about it, first and foremost, before we get to the workroom.
Let me tell you about RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay. Yeah. RuPaul's Drag Race is every competition show you can imagine, all rolled up into one. American Idol meets Project Runway, meets America's Next Top Model, meets So You Think You Can Dance. All these things, you put them together, you have to have all these skills to walk into this workroom and battle these other queens for $100,000 and the crown of America's Next Drag Superstar.
Got it.
How does someone come out on top?
Yeah.
Oh, by mastering all these things. And during the competition, you have so many challenges where you have to create outfits for the runway. You have acting challenges. You have singing challenges. You have snatch game challenges. And the thing that is so cool about what we're doing here today, this is the Drag Race experience in Chicago. We have the entire set built. You can walk through the workroom, you can go through Snatch Game, and the thing that is so cool that I didn't get to see on my time of Drag Race, we have the control room set up where all the producers sit down in a room looking at all of the live feed screens in the work, and you get to sit down, put the headphones on, and actually watch some of the footage that has never been aired before, never before seen stuff that is so cool. And let me tell you, I've been in that room for a second catching up on all the shade that I didn't get to see.
I do notice that when folks come to our station, one of the most interesting spots is that control room, right? It's like the behind the scenes. Okay, so tell us a little bit.
Everything goes down.
Exactly. Tell us a little bit about the experience. Like, what should people know if they want to come check it out for themselves? How long does it take to make your way through? Who are you going to see there? What are you going to do?
It takes about an hour to go through this whole experience, but you're not being pushed. You really get to go at your own pace. It is literally an exact replica of what we go through while filming Drag Race. So you get to walk in the workroom. You can touch the wigs. You can try on some of the clothes. You can take lipstick and write your own message on the mirror. It is a great time. And the best time about this is if you get VIP tickets, we have in the Untucked room me this week. You can come hang out with me, have a drink, get your picture with me, and talk. But you can come hang with.
Cool.
And it's a really great time, really special situation.
So they can meet you, Dusty.
The experience there. Just talk about how the show has changed your life.
Oh, my goodness. This show has absolutely changed my life. I am a performer. I've always been a performer, but being able to have RuPaul put his seal of approval on me and my drag, and it has elevated me to be able to travel around the whole world to perform and to spread my story and my message, and it's really been so awesome, and I can't thank World of Wonder and RuPaul enough for changing my life. And also, not only has it changed my life before I was even on the show. Being able to watch a queer program where you get to see people living their true, authentic selves and not being judged for it, and it's being celebrated in a competition platform, was everything to me and was so huge. And it's so huge for a lot of young queer people out there.
Do any of the rivalries, I've been curious about this across the in-show rivalries. You know, you were on season 10, where I think we're on season 16 or 17 now. Oof. Do they ever spill spill out into the real world, like, you know, linger years or seasons later?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have social media and if you are watching one of our seasons live, you will see our queens popping off at each other on social media for sure. So the rivalry does come off the screen and into our lives, but it's all in fun. It's all in jest.
Okay, so since we are seasons in and you're a vet in the game, what are you expecting from the new season?
Not yet. Oh, I love this new season of Girls. Season 17 was so much fun, and it was so great to get to work with some of them this year. But what I'm really excited for is our next crop of girls, the season 18 girls that are coming out, I think the first week of January. January 2nd? January 2nd.
How many, I don't know, do we call them contestants? Are in each season.
Rue girls? How many Rue girls
yes,
are there?
There
are about 14 Rue girls on each season, and there are about too many of us altogether.
Dusty Ray, what is your favorite aspect of the show?
My favorite aspect of the show? Oh, I think my favorite competition, challenge of the show would have to be the makeover challenge. I love when they pull either, it's like a family member they pull in or a firefighter. You get to get paired up with someone you know or some rando. Your stories get put together, you get to know about each other, and then you get to make them over, and you get to make them into like your sister, and you walk the runway together. And I never got to do that challenge, but it is my favorite challenge.
That sounds fun. I'm trying to think which of my family members would
want to make
yeah, exactly. That I would volunteer. Hey, but you're next, Dan Ponce.
The better question is which family member needs it.
Oh,
that's right.
Now there goes the shade. There goes the shade. Dusty.
I'm kidding.
Dusty,
Not for holidays.
Who all's around you right now? What all's going on over there?
There is nothing. I am in this workroom by myself, feeling my own little fantasy right now. I'm waiting for you to come join me.
Okay. Dusty Ray needs a little company. Again, if people want to meet you, you said this weekend, right? When are you going to be around if folks want to come say hi to you personally?
Come say hello to me today through Sunday. I will be in the Untucked Lounge. Go get those VIP tickets, and I can't wait to give you a squeeze.
Okay, it is the drag race, the experience.
No one wants to miss it.
Logan Square. Oh, how long does it run? Is it end of the year here through December?
No, we're actually, tickets are on sale through the end of February.
End of February?
And we are every week, Thursday through Sunday, till the end of February.
A new Rue girl comes in every week until February. That is amazing. Dusty, thank you.
Remember, I told you, there's a lot of us. Thank you.
But there's only one of you, and so we're glad to be able to spend some time with you today.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, happy holidays, Dusty Ray. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, see this is good. That's good drama. Right Talk about some bad drama that does unfold at many households across the USA during the holidays, whether it's politics, family drama, all that stuff. It can be stressful to get together with family members you haven't seen in a long time.
Take the temperature down and help you get through.
That's right. Dr. Joy Berkheimer, licensed family therapist and relationship expert, is coming up right after this.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. It's 10:32 right now. I love the holidays for so many reasons, but one of them is the family time that you try to create, the experiences, the memories that you want to have. Obviously, you're hoping that all of those are positive, but sometimes family time can go awry. Not in my family, but for some folks. Family time can go awry. And so we want to try to help some folks get through this season with a joyous spirit for everyone at the table.
Right. Let's go drama-free if that's your thing.
Drama.
Let's bring in Dr. Joy Berkheimer. She's a licensed family therapist and relationship expert to help us navigate this territory. Dr. Berkheimer, happy holidays to you. Thank you for taking time for us. Where are you joining us from, out of curiosity? I always like to know where our Zoom guests are at.
I'm in South Florida right now.
Oh, warm, sunny South Florida. While we prepare.
It is beautiful. It is not Chicago weather at all. It is absolutely
10 degrees.
Oh, don't we know?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, don't we know? We try to escape to Florida during this time of year. And you know what? Some people try to escape from the family time if they even think that drama could be a part of the equation. So get us on the right foot. Like, how do we even approach this moment in time with our family?
So the thing about going back home is like being transported back to a whole other world. Most of us have left, we've learned, we have new perspectives. People change at different ranges, but anyone who's actually thinking about this and concerned, you've probably changed a good amount. So one of the things that you want to prepare for is maybe being triggered when you get back, because you're going to a space that maybe had you be a personality or a character that felt more powerless, that felt that you didn't have a say-so when it came to family things, or there were no boundaries for that particular person that you were. So we want to kind of prepare ourselves for knowing how resolute we're going to be in those boundaries with our interactions with our family, but still be able to enjoy them and us minimize the drama. We can't make them really not dramatic, but we don't have to respond with drama.
Ooh, okay. Actually, that hits so home for
There
me.
you go.
When I go to certain atmospheres or I'm around a certain friend group, it's amazing how everybody, a lot of times, we revert back to those roles that we kind of knew back then. All right, so what is the trick here? When it comes to our mindset? Hey, we're different people now. We don't want, sometimes it can be positive to do the throwback thing. Other times, no, not so much. What are your rules of thumb here?
The thing is, you have to know what's off limits, like what your boundaries are going to be. You can't expect people to just know, like, okay, I'm different now, so you can't speak to me the same way. So you want to talk to yourself before you get into these spaces. What are the things that maybe are off limits to talk about? How long am I actually going to stay in a space? Maybe having to do a checklist of things that you didn't like before, or situations you didn't like to be in. And so what can I do that's different, you know, from before, where I would just kind of people please and that type of thing. But you have to really be resolute on how you're going to show up in those spaces. I understand when we're talking to our friends, our families, like almost speaking another language, and we do have to do a little bit of interpretation, but it doesn't have to be one that crosses our boundaries or makes us feel disrespected.
Yeah. So, Dr. Joy, there's dealing with our own family members, and then there's introducing new people to the family. Let's talk about that, because it's like, okay, we have our gumbo here, and we're adding a new ingredient.
Yes. Listen, you know your family, okay? Do not be unfair to the person or people who are going to be introduced to them. Please put them on notice. Now, this is not to say, like, let me tell you all the negative things that are going to happen, because we also don't want to create that energy or have both of us paranoid, like, oh, you see, they would do that. But you do want to kind of let them know, like, culturally, we can be different, right? A question may be asked from a family member to a person that you know would never expect that. Kind of put them on notice about some sample questions, literally, that my mom might ask this, and please don't just freeze. You don't have to answer, but let's talk about how we can, like, go about it, but don't run out of the house is what I'm saying, right? Like, put them on notice.
Okay. In terms of an when up, the first place my mind went was politics, okay? And for those people who are maybe worried that the discussion will get contentious, do you have any tricks for building in non-awkward off-ramps to that kind of conversation? Can you give us some off-ramps?
Well, okay. If someone is insistent on speaking politics with you, they probably know that you don't want to talk about it. They probably know that it's something that makes you uncomfortable, right? This is potentially intentional. What you want to do is kind of, one, again, you have those boundaries about what you're not going to talk about, but you could always redirect the conversation by asking about them, asking not about like giving your own opinion about it, but asking about their opinion around things that are maybe, how can I say, parallel to something political, like bringing it more into a real world situation that you allow them to maybe talk about a thing where you don't have to give your opinion. The reason things get heated is because we go against what the person said, which is kind of what they wanted, right? Like, again, you know they're going to say something contrary to you, but you're making the decision whether or not you respond with something contrary, opposed to just letting them have their podium and speak about what they want to have, what they want to speak about, is what I'm saying.
Letting them have their podium, like, okay, get it off your chest, get it off your chest. You know, sometimes I feel like too, when I remember when I was a kid, we tried to come up with like an eye code or like a thump, you know, if you were like, okay, it's time to go kind of thing, like having a nonverbal cue to let somebody know time to go.
It's yes, move with me, please. That's going to be in the prep conversation. Seriously, it's so funny. In my family, in my early years, when I first started going to family gatherings, we would literally have these conversations about our nose thing that we were going to do.
Oh my God.
He was a baseball guy, so we would do baseball
Exactly.
know that your nervous system is heating up, it's doing that thing. There's no reason to sit in that space. Now, sometimes that signal may not be let's just escape together, but it could be when you implement some of the tools that you need to regulate your nervous system. Wherever I go, whatever the temperature is, whatever part of the world or country, I go prepared to walk in that space. What are the things that I need, that if I need to take a walk, I can do that? So it's so important for you to normalize. It's like medicine for me, right? I know that's what it is, and no one's going to be mad at anyone for taking their medicine, but normalize having those breaks where you can kind of recenter and go back into that space.
Yeah, ours wasn't even like drama centered. It was like, okay, like one family member might want to talk for hours. And everybody else is like, yeah, it's been long enough. Like,
got my ear space for long enough.
Yeah, like a friendly, polite ways. Like, we love you, but it's time to go, kind of thing.
Dr. Berkheimer, if you're let's say you're going to a family gathering, but you're kind of the plus one. Maybe you're the husband, and you know that there's kind of gonna be some family stuff, and that your spouse is gonna get inevitably roped into it. Do you have any tips or tricks for the partners that maybe the partners could bring to the table to smooth things over?
So I don't ever want to be a therapist. Obviously, everyone's not a therapist, but when we are in partnership, we are a guide and a comfort for our partner. So having that conversation, again, ahead of time of what do you actually need from me when these likely things happen? Asking them how you can intervene ahead of time. Because maybe you're thinking, I want to intervene with his mother doing this. I know how it bothers him, but that could also be something that he feels upset about later, that you interrupted his mother. So kind of talking about what are the ways that I could gently help you. And sometimes it is just, I can tell that you feel this way, and I put my hand on your leg while you're talking to this person, you know, or I ask a question that helps to redirect something when I know you're feeling a certain way. I talk about you or your accomplishments, something that basically maybe removes you from that. But really, again, kind of knowing that you have that partner that will be that with you. A lot of times you don't even have to do that for that person. It's kind of having the intention ahead of time. We're in this video game together, and we're going to get through it together. We're going to get the princess at the end of Zelda together. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it.
Which may strengthen your bond if it doesn't break it.
Yes, yes.
You know, I was watching a show, and I do think so much of this comes down to, like, especially when it comes to partnership, like the conversations you have before you even get there. I was watching a show, and the man's mother came unglued when the woman didn't fix her plate, because culturally it was like, it was very disrespectful in their culture that the woman, that his wife didn't fix the mother's, the mother's plate.
Wow.
And the mom came like unglued about it. And it's like, well, you could have told her. Like, that was
yes. Yes.
Yeah, so maybe familiarizing yourself with. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, between a mother and a wife, you need to plan ahead of time, because you know how your mom is, and you also know how your wife is. Please save me from a whole thing that's going to be a whole grudge for a year. Save both of us from that situation. Yes.
Do you have anything? I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot here, Dr. Berkheimer, but any what's the old cliche about how long guests should stay and how they start to stink?
You're like,
after 3. Okay, can we take it?
Oh, it's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a long dinner. Tactfully exiting, how long you should plan for your gatherings to be, or perhaps even if you're going out of town to visit, what a good sweet spot is for folks. You know, you don't want to wear out your welcome when you're a guest in someone's house. You don't want to eat and run either. So where's the Goldilocks zone here?
I feel like 2 movies worth of time is good, honestly. Like, that should be the max. That, you know, about maybe like 4 hours, right? And the thing about going out of town, what's happened to us before, is going to spaces, you know, like you might travel to this house, and commuting with other people or getting in the car with other people, I think is a bad idea. I'm not saying you shouldn't be in the car with people, but I'm saying that you should also have a way to tactfully exit without being strong-armed by someone else who doesn't want to leave. So you should probably, if you can, bring your own vehicle, your own transportation, or have your own Uber, whatever that is, at least in one way, so that when you are ready to go, you don't feel a lot of that anxiety that can happen with that pressure from like, why are you leaving? But I think no more than 2 movies worth of time. I think it's a good amount of time for people to be able to be in your space. You want to put your shoulders down eventually.
It is a running joke in our house that my dad does not care about the tact, and in terms, literally doesn't care about the tact. He's like, well, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. You know?
I'm like him. I'm like him.
He will leave us. He does not care.
I am the worst.
There's like no tact. It's my house, and when I feel like it's gone, you can hang out hang out as long as you want. But I'm gone. I'm going to sleep.
This is great. This is great. These are great rules of thumb, Dr. Joy Berkheimer. Thank you so much for your expertise. Happy holidays to you. May it be drama-free.
Thank you.
Enjoy the weather down in Florida
You're
as well.
awesome.
Oh yeah,
he does
I get along.
care.
I get along. I'd be like,
well, all right.
I'd be like, sir, I get it. I get it.
We're all like, hey, wait a minute. Doesn't care. Running joke in the house.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to, I'm excited about this. It's called the Backstage Experience. It's right here on Fox 32, airing this weekend. And we're going to get a preview of what is coming up with one of the hosts, Jonathan Stenval. So stick around. We'll be right back.
This is probably
7 right now. We are both music lovers, concert lovers, and obviously we work in TV. So you always think of like the backstage experience. What is that like? What is the chaos happening behind the scenes of any type of production to make it run smoothly? And this weekend, right here on Fox 32, you will get a window into that experience.
Yes, let's bring in Jonathan Stenval. He is one of the co-hosts for what is coming up. Tell us about first of all, welcome to you. Where are you joining us from, Jonathan?
I'm actually at Fox 26 in Houston right now.
All right. Tell our friends down in Houston hello.
Yes, one of our sister stations. Excellent. Okay, so Jonathan, run us through the backstage experience, what this program is all about, and what is going to be featured this weekend.
Absolutely, Anthony. So the backstage experience gives you a behind-the-scenes look in the world of entertainment and video games. And so we want to do something a little bit different. I mean, you got your shows, you got your TMZs, your extras, your Entertainment Tonights. But what we do is we actually sit down with the stars and they talk about like the projects that are coming up or that they've been working on. And so this week we have Jeff Goldblum and Jonathan Bailey talking about Wicked for Good, obviously one of the biggest movies of the year. It's coming up on the $500 million mark at the box office. It's gotten multiple nominations with the Golden Globes and with the Critics' Choice, including Best Picture. So that's really exciting to have them join us on the show. And then we also have, what's the biggest series that's out right now? Stranger Things. Yeah. So we have the Duffer Brothers joining us on the show. They're the creators of Stranger Things, and so we talked to them about, one, getting the show started, because originally there weren't a lot of people that were picking up the show, but you know what? Netflix took a shot with them, and look how big it became. And then also, are we going to actually get more? Is this really the end? They're going to reveal a little bit about that this week on the Backstage Experience. Also, we have Jay Kelly stars Adam Sandler and Laura Dern. We had George Clooney on the show a couple weeks ago when it released in theaters, and now that it's also on Netflix, we got to sit down with Adam Sandler and Laura Dern talking about their new movie, Jay Kelly, because the cool thing about this movie is, so Adam Sandler plays George Clooney's manager and Laura Dern plays his publicist. So I asked them, what's it like for them to actually represent people that have helped build their own careers? Because we think of the big A-list actors, but we don't think of the team that's behind them and the people that are doing the work, you know, behind the scenes. And so I got to talk to them about that. And then, of course, Five Nights at Freddy's. It's the #1 movie right now at the box office. All the kids, everybody's going out there. They're getting scared, having a great time. We got Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich from the show. Matthew Lillard's returning from the first movie. Skeet Ulrich is new to the franchise. They give us a backstage look at what it was like to film Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Plus, gaming. We got to cover gaming as well, so we have a lot of that.
You can go so far with this. I mean, really, it is fascinating to find out like the intricate things for the shows that really blow up. You know, there's so much that goes into what we see at the very end, or the games that we see at the very end. We see the finished product, but looking behind the scenes is an amazing thing. What thus far has surprised you?
Well, I think for me, like just in general, was like like you were saying, the amount of work that John Chu was working on Wicked for Good for like 5 years. And so people don't realize like how much work is actually going on behind the scenes, not just with like getting the money to put funding together, to get it written, to actually go out and film it. They actually had to stop filming during the, they had the writer's strike and the pandemic that affected actually Wicked, you know, and then finally released the movie. And then one of the things I didn't even know about until we started doing this was the amount of promotion then that goes into actually putting these films out. So we see the actors on screen, you know, we think they go out and they film maybe 20, 30 days or something like that, but we don't realize until I got into the business that they're actually on the road for just the same amount of time. A lot of times, traveling the world to go out and promote these films as well. And so I found that really interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating to hear how the so-called sausage is made. I have a question about the gaming though, Jonathan.
Yeah.
So I am of the 8-bit Nintendo era, right? There were no actors.
Same.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
My son, he's got the Xbox, and so he's into the sports games. So the only kind of exposure I have to this is when I listen to him play. The commentators, it's unbelievable. He'll be playing his game, and there's full play-by-play and color commentary the entire time that sounds like you're watching Sunday Night Football. It's unbelievable.
I mean, Madden now is fantastic. Like, you can almost sometimes put it side by side. If you're not paying attention that it's a video game, like, it definitely looks like the graphics and the play-by-play and everything. It's just like that. And I'm playing those same type of games too. So I'm more of a Madden, NBA 2K kind of guy. You know, I'll do some Elden Rings here and there, some Call of Duty for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. And what's funny is, like, I kind of dipped out of the video game scene for a few years as we were building the company, and I've gotten back into it in the last 5 years. And to see the way that gaming has progressed to the point where you have AI generation, and so you can be playing a game and your friend can be playing the game as well, but the worlds that you're seeing are completely different because they're each being AI generated for you specifically, and it kind of reacts to like how you've played the game earlier. It'll auto-generate.
Exactly. It learns, and then if you're a character and it's like Theo Ponce for 3, you feel like you're. So
we've come so far.
It's so
from
wild.
Mike Tyson knockout,
which is a great game. Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh, dude, I used to play that
all the time.
Absolutely.
Loved it.
Amazing. So Jonathan, with regard to your approach, okay, these are, I mean, my impression is that these are serious gigs for actors and voice actors to be a part of the virtual world in gaming these days, correct? So how do you approach that topic?
I mean, look at like Far Cry. You got Giancarlo Esposito, doing the voiceover for it.
Wow.
And so, because the amount of money that people are making in video games is like 10x of even film now.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. It's like, what, a 65, 70, 80 billion dollar. If you include mobile, it's in the hundreds of billions of dollars industry. It's absolutely fantastic. So I think it's cool that they're able to go out and do, the motion capture, which I find a lot of fun. If you dive in, for people that are watching, I recommend checking out something called Unreal Engine. They have a thing called MetaHuman, where like you can actually take a cell phone now and you can do facial capture, facial recognition capture, and then put like different things over your face. So like you could become like a troll, or like you could become anything.
What's it called?
Or, like,
Unreal.
or just a different person.
What's it called?
It's called Unreal Engine. There it is right there.
Okay. Unreal Engine.
Oh,
so a lot of these video games, that's what they use to create these games, but you're going to start seeing a lot of movies and different storylines being created with these projects as well. It's an absolutely fascinating technology to where you can actually take your phone and, like, say you want to scan in like a coffee cup, you could scan the coffee cup in with your phone. Remember when you do like the 3D photos where you have to stitch them together? You can do that, and then you can import it into your computer, and you can create these 3D digital worlds, and you can use AI for a lot of it to actually auto-generate your settings.
I'm slightly excited, slightly scared. It's a little much, but I'm sure that people will putting yourself inside of these things that you love is just, again, taking things to another level. Okay, so the backstage experience, tell us where we need to be. Obviously, we know Fox 32, Fox 26 for Houston, but Fox 32 here in Chicago.
Yeah, Fox 32. If you want to watch it actually right now, you can just go to Fox Local.
Okay.
Nice. On, Fox 32 Chicago, they're all there right now. So, I mean, that's what I would recommend, is just go into that and just start diving into it. We got a lot of coverage. We're working on Ed Sheeran's going to be on an upcoming episode.
Sweet.
Is he going to sing for us?
We're going to be talking about his world tour, which is coming in 2026.
He's going on the road.
That's what I really want. All the backstage for the concerts.
When Taylor Swift and Beyonce sold out Soldier Field, but then they said that Ed Sheeran actually had more people because he had more room on the field.
Yeah, he didn't need as much.
I was in Chicago when Beyonce was there because I remember all the storms that were coming in.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that first night, people were in there. Were you on the first night? Because I was on the second night, but were you on the first night?
No, I didn't go to the show. I was actually at the studio with y'all.
Oh, yeah, that first night, chairs were moving and people were running out of there, just waiting on Queen Bee. So, yeah, the backstage experience, even for Beyonce and for Taylor Swift, the movies that they made off of people seeing what goes into it. You're onto something.
I think that's genius. I mean, look at what Taylor did, and like she made so much money off even just the music video. She did an in-theater release for just the music video. That's phenomenal.
It's mind-blowing.
I love how she's breaking through and creating new ideas for new artists, for new revenue too, and for the fans to be able to get a preview instead of just waiting for it to drop on YouTube. You get to go to the theater and watch the music video. How cool is that?
Jonathan, thank you so much. It's Fox Local. You can check out the backstage experience. Jonathan Senval, thank you for joining us, sir. Enjoy.
Tell Matt Horn I said hi. Tell Matt I said hi.
Friends down in Houston. And if you don't want to do the Fox Local route, which would be the easiest, you can watch
do that right now.
The backstage experience at 11 p.m. Saturdays on Fox 32 Chicago. All right, we got another exciting hour of Chicago Now, starting in about 90 seconds, so stay with us.
Stream.
To Chicago Now. This is the Friday Eve edition of the show.
I was thinking you were saying Friday, and I was getting excited for a second.
I almost did say Friday. You had a really interesting and fun morning at the same time.
Oh my gosh! You know what? It's nothing like going to Lurie Children's, just in general, because it's so heartwarming. It gets your spirits up. You know, you see all the smiling faces around of families and children who are going through so much, but yet they're just so happy and excited to be getting the great treatment there. So here's a live picture actually from the radiothon that's happening until 7 p.m. Way in the back there in those blue risers, that's where the telethon is happening. So you can call in, the numbers on the bottom of your screen there, and you can donate as much as you can, right? It could be $5 to you, $10, $10,000 if you're really feeling generous. Their goal is $1 million today.
Talk about where that money goes.
Yeah,
where does it go?
Because it seems like a big number, right?
Does.
And after we're hearing about them getting other donations, but Tia, they do so much. And it goes to all the different departments that they have there, obviously. thousands of kids that they help here in Chicagoland, and as we know from beyond, some people get special treatment at Lurie Children's nationwide, even out of the country too. They will sometimes travel to Lurie Children's for care. You know what's funny? This is a story that I can't get over today, and actually made me tear up on air while I was doing an interview. Dr. Verghese, she's with the kidney diseases department.
Okay.
We were walking from kind of this green room that they had set up for the people who were there getting snacks, so they had some waters in there. There was a hallway with some chairs there and some patients and kids waiting there. And I noticed the kid earlier sitting with his mother, and he had a feeding tube, and you could tell that he was going through treatment because he was a little more swollen.
Yeah.
But just, playing with his toys and stuff. We were walking back, myself and Dr. Verghese. The mother stopped her and said, "Are you Dr. Verghese?" She said, "Yes." Broke down in tears saying, "Thank you, God bless you.
For the
you
care.
saved my son by putting him on the kidney transplant list."
Oh, wow.
She said, "He would not be here with me if you didn't." And he's everything I have. It was so amazing, Tia. And so, that's just one story and one little piece that I got when I was there, and we were able to talk with Marshall and his family, some of the other doctors and nurses. It's really incredible. So please call that number. You can also go online if you would rather not talk over the phone with somebody, but we have great volunteers there. Again, it's happening until 7 p.m. Yes, of course, then scan or text. Yeah, there's plenty of options. Also, if you're listening to iHeart radio stations today, they're doing the same call to action as we were this morning.
And it's really tough. I've had friends that have had to go to Lurie Children's Hospital, and it's really tough having a child with illness. Sometimes they're not of age to tell you what's wrong, right? So they have to go through all of these different series of tests to find out what the problem is. But Lurie Children's, they are known across the world for helping so many children with so many illnesses, so many different diseases. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. They do great work, and they are definitely saving lives. I'm looking at Ryan there from WGCI on that microphone, having a good time there. So yeah, make sure that you donate. This is a good time of year to be thoughtful of our neighbors and other people that may be going through challenges. And Lurie Children's, they literally put the money where it's supposed to be. So this is a trusted place.
You're exactly right.
Your money.
Then that's true. I know that you're already, spending a lot with Christmas gifts, Hanukkah gifts, whatever it might be that you're celebrating this time of year. But giving that just even a small amount of money, it will make you feel so good. Instead of getting that, lunch today, donate it to Lurie Children's instead.
And it's stuff people don't think about. Like, for example, you're going there constantly for treatment. You have to pay for parking. So sometimes they cover the parking bills. Maybe you've come here from a small town within Illinois, and sometimes they have to cover the hospital bills. So that money goes far and wide, and definitely to a good cause. So make sure that you do that. Understand that it's, wallets are tighter around this time of year. Everything is expensive, but even $1 in that situation can help.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's talk about what we have coming up on the show. I haven't been, but I've walked past it. I've been saying, I gotta get there. The Museum of Ice Cream is bringing back its Pinkmas holiday experience. We're gonna take you inside there. And the City Council, they're gonna vote on this proposed hemp ban. Block Club Chicago has been following it. We've been following it. We're gonna talk to the folks over at Block Club Chicago. But first, we're talking about a new study that actually suggests that shingles, the vaccine, could slow the progression of dementia.
And it's funny because you don't really maybe think that those two things would coincide, right? But we're talking more about it with Dr. Arthi Didwania with Northwestern Medicine. Thank you for joining us. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If not, then
you got it perfectly. Thank you for having me.
So like we said, we typically wouldn't think of these two diseases, coincide or the other, but explain some of these findings that were.
So the shingles virus is the chickenpox virus, which many of us were exposed to when we were children. Some of us have gotten vaccines for it, but the virus itself never really leaves your body. So it stays in the nerve endings. And then as you get old, reactivate and cause shingles, or zoster is what other people will sometimes call it. So a vaccine that can prevent the reactivation of this virus is really amazing. And dementia is where it affects the nerves of the brain. And so the thought is, nobody really understands exactly why the vaccine can prevent dementia or prevent death due to dementia, but there's some theories that maybe the vaccine is decreasing the inflammation, it's decreasing the incidence of the virus reactivating, and that's going to prevent dementia as well.
Talk about, you know, this study. How many people did they look into? How did they even come to find out that this vaccine may actually help dementia? Did they have people in the study with dementia? And that's how they figured out the correlation.
It's really interesting. It was over about 200,000 people, and the study was conducted in Wales because their healthcare offered the vaccine to people over the age of 80. So people who had turned, it was for vaccines for people under 80. And so if they turned 80, they weren't eligible for the vaccine. So it was like a difference of 1 week. Like if you were 79, you could get the vaccine, but if you were 80, you could not. And so if everything else being the same, you could have a difference in your birthday of like 1 week, and you qualified for the vaccine versus not. So they look at people with dementia who were 1 week difference in age, and see sort of what their progression was over the next 7 to 10 years, is about how far out we are from where the study started. And so over 7 to 9 years, they've noticed that there was a almost 3% decrease in the rate of having dementia, and those people who got the vaccine versus those who did not. There was actually a 30% decrease in the rate of death from dementia in people who got the vaccine versus those who did not.
All right, 30%. That's a pretty big percentage. How common is the shingles vaccine here in the United States?
How common is it?
Yeah.
So we recommend it for everybody over the age of 50. It's a 2-shot vaccine, and so you get a 1 shot, and then 2 to 6 months later you get the booster shot, and it's really effective. It's 90% effective at preventing the recurrence of the chickenpox virus or shingles.
And is that the same amount of doses that they saw to be effective when it came to slowing the progression of dementia, or did there have to be more doses over time?
So it's a really good question, because we used to have a different vaccine for shingles, and it was called Zostavax was the trained name for it, and it was 1 shot. And that was only 50% effective at preventing shingles. And that's actually the vaccine that was studied in Wales and Australia through this study. So it's assumed, or maybe postulated, that the vaccine that we have in the US, and which is very universal now, which is the 2-shot series, will be even more effective. So the study itself, they didn't get more vaccines. They actually got a vaccine that was less effective than the one we have now.
Have there been other similar studies that have been done, and what did those studies say, if you know of any?
So they're not similar studies on dementia specifically with shingles. There was a previous study to this one that showed the 7% decrease in the rate of dementia. This one shows a 9% decrease in the rate of dementia and almost 30% decrease in the rate of death from dementia. But these are the first sort of studies that are coming out about vaccine linkage to dementia, specifically for shingles.
So, doctor, let me ask you, if someone right now, maybe they have a loved one that is suffering with the early stages of dementia, can they go in and request that this person now gets these vaccines for shingles? How does that work?
Yeah. So it's again recommended for everybody over the age of 50. So ideally, if the rates of dementia increase with age, it's most prevalent over the age of 75. So I'm hopeful that everybody has already gotten their vaccine when they're starting to show changes related to dementia. But if they haven't, they can still get it. And whether we're going to see a decrease in the rate of death from dementia really depends on what the vaccine is doing. Is it decreasing inflammation? Is it decreasing the rate of recurrence of shingles specifically? And that itself is causing changes to brain architecture. Regardless, if somebody hasn't gotten the shingles vaccine, I think this is just another point to sort of people to go ahead and do it.
Doctor, a follow-up to what you just said, with these dementia patients that were, essentially studied, did they see, like, for the early onset, was it a situation where in some cases they saw improved memory? Like, how did they gauge how successful it was? Was it based solely on the death rate?
So death rate was one of them. So death rate due to dementia. And then the second thing was the development of dementia. So progression of dementia. So that was the thing that was decreased by 7 and then 9% in the 2 studies.
You know, you mentioned getting that vaccine that's recommended for everyone over 50, but you know, doctor, there's still a lot of vaccine hesitancy that we're hearing about after COVID. Do you think that maybe having the study out, seeing the findings might, you know, have people actually wanting and seeking this vaccine a little bit more than we've seen in the past?
I'm really hopeful that that does contribute to that. Vaccines are really safe and they're really amazing technology. It is something that we've created to help boost our immune system, to help us fight off all these pathogens that we then get exposed to in the environment. And so this is another thing that vaccines can help do. Vaccines help prevent disease, infectious diseases. They help prevent, you know, the severity of the disease, so you don't get as sick from certain viruses and bacteria if you're exposed to them. And then if it can help prevent death and dementia, imagine how much benefit that would add to people's quality of life.
Absolutely. Doctor, any final words? Maybe for someone out there that's watching this and maybe their loved one, maybe they themselves have not received that vaccine. What would you tell them? Where can they go get it? What should they do?
I really think that you should, hopefully you have a close healthcare professional, a relationship with one that you could go speak to about this vaccine. Ask your questions. Say, I'm hesitant about the vaccine for X, Y, or Z reason, and have your healthcare professional address those issues for you, and then talk about the benefits, all of them. You can get the vaccine at your primary care physician's office. You can get it at pharmacies. It's really available to easily. Insurance covers it. And so I think just having an open relationship with somebody that you can trust their opinion would be very helpful.
You know, doctor, I don't have my phone on me right now, but I want to say that I remember seeing an article online saying that shingles is becoming more prevalent with people under 50, even if they've had chickenpox. Sure. Are you seeing the same thing? And then are people eligible to go in and maybe get that shingles vaccine before 50 years old if they do think, or, you know, are worried about getting shingles before that mid-mark?
Yeah, so about 1 in 3 people will develop shingles over their lifetime. And we are seeing it sort of manifesting itself in younger people. So it is approved for people over the age of 50. And by that, it's your insurance will cover it. It's easier. You may be able to get it sooner than that. So at a younger age, you just want to check with your insurance company and see if they will cover that, and see what your doctor thinks about your eligibility and your risk for developing shingles. Do you have something that makes your immune system not work as well? Have you been exposed to other infections that would put you at risk for this infection? So I think having that communication with your primary care provider is really helpful.
Doctor, I want to ask you a follow-up about shingles. Is this something where you get it and it can flare up, you know, after you've already had it? Can it flare back up on you, you know, a month out, 2 months out? And really, what is the cause, if that is indeed true, what is the cause of that?
So it is a virus that stays in the nerve ending, so it's never cleared from the body. So you can get shingles, and then getting shingles is sort of like getting the vaccine. Your body builds some antibodies and it helps sort of, you know, fight off the infection, but those antibodies can wane over time. And so as you get older, your immune system doesn't work as well, and so it can flare again. So even if you've gotten shingles, you can in fact get it again because the virus stays dormant in nerve endings.
I know. You know, I don't think people truly know the severity of it until they know someone who's had it before. Because doctor, right, it's more than just some spots on your arm, on your face. It actually is painful, like that nerve pain that you sometimes get, but different parts of your body.
Yeah, it can be really devastating and painful for people. It causes something called post-herpetic neuralgia. So at the time that the shingles pops up, you know, there's this rash. It's sort of red at the base, and you can get these blisters on the top. And the rash itself can be painful. But even once the rash goes away, the nerve endings are affected. And so it can cause sharp shooting real pain in the distribution of where that rash was. And depending on where that distribution is, if it involves one of the facial nerves, it can lead to blindness or hearing difficulties if it involves one of a nerve that innervates the eye or the ear.
Is there anything that, I know you said kind of essentially like lies dormant in the body is kind of sound like, you know, in layman terms. Is there anything that causes, or is there anything scientifically that shows, well, this is a contributing factor to why it would then flare up again? Is it, you know, exhaustion? Is it, you know, maybe you got a cold and that triggers it again?
Anything that's going to make your immune system not work as well. So as you age, your immune system doesn't work as well as it did when you were younger. So aging is one of the things that can cause that to flare. If you are under stress, physical stress, mental stress, stress from other infections, because your body is fighting off one infection, its ability to keep another one at bay is not as good. And so being exposed to infections can do it too.
That sounds like almost like it could be debilitating for some people.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Yes, it can be very debilitating, and it can lead to your not wanting to interact with other people, go to work. It can change your quality of life by quite a bit depending on how severe it is for you.
Wow. Both up, and yeah, we think of those who are struggling with it for sure.
Yeah, and there's no cure for shingles as of right now, right, doctor? It's just the vaccine to kind of like, you know, keep it at bay. Is that the best way to put it?
Yeah, get the vaccine, keep yourself as healthy as you can, eat well, exercise. I wish I had something that would prevent you from aging, but that would be the ultimate help for this. But there is no cure at the moment.
Wow.
Doctor, wow, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for putting it into layman's terms, because I know it is a complicated subject, especially with a brand new study coming out, but we appreciate your information.
Thank you for having me.
All right, it was a pleasure. Happy holidays to you as well. Okay, so we are going to be talking with the folks over at Block Club Chicago. They have a lot of stories that they're working on. I'm still stuck on the shingles though, because I don't think people realize, like, you could be totally fine. It's lying dormant in your body. It flares up this one time, and then it can consistently flare up and change the whole course of your life.
Exactly.
And the fact that we're seeing younger people with it who are in the prime of their lives, right? Maybe in some cases you just got that job that you wanted, you're out of college or what have you, and now your life is completely derailed. I wish there was a cure.
I wonder if they're going to change the age for when it's recommended to get that vaccine, because yes, and it's unfair because it seems like there's no rhyme or reason. We're all stressed out. We're all tired at times. And to know that that can flare up on top of it is really scary. So we appreciate her info.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Good news.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. If you live in Chicago, near Chicago, around Chicago. You know, there's a lot of news in and around this
We were just
city.
talking about it.
Yeah, we were talking about some stuff that, you know, I did some deep dives on in terms of the city budget.
Tia's on it.
Yeah, I need to do the story. But anyways, they're always covering the stories and making headlines. I'm talking about Block Club Chicago. And with us this morning is Mac Lederman, who's always on top of the neighborhood stories. First of all, thank you for the work you do. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you, friends. I appreciate you having me back on the show again.
Let's talk about this. The City Council, we were expecting some type of a vote on this unregulated hemp, the products being banned. That was delayed yesterday. So what's the next phase in this? When do they meet again to discuss this?
Well, let's zoom out for a second. You guys have seen these stores, right? They feel like they're on every corner all over Chicago. Some of them are labeled as dispensaries. They say Delta 9 across the front of them. They might even have a logo of the marijuana plant on them. But what they're actually selling is these hemp products. And these hemp products kind of take very small elements of THC in them. And what people found out is that they can take legal hemp and they can extract the THC from it and put it into all these things that give you the effect that you might find more frequently in a dispensary per se. So there's been a lot of debate about these products. Some of the more conservative aldermen in the city council have been pushing an all-out ban, saying that these products are targeting children. They've also caught the wrath of the legal cannabis industry, who say they undercut their prices and their requirements, which usually are very expensive and require a substantial amount of space to open the dispensary and security and the whole 9 yards. So finally, this is moving through city council again. Alderman Marty Quinn, he already has his own ban in his ward, but he's leading the charge here again, and he's found a spark, if you will, off this new federal ban that was passed to end the government shutdown that closes the loophole to make hemp products that get you high. So he's trying to get out in front of that. It went up to a vote at City Council on Wednesday, but was stalled by allies of the mayor. Mayor Brandon Johnson has tried very vicariously to make these products taxed and regulated as opposed to banned. So it's going to be stalled for at least one more meeting of the City Council, Tia and Gabby, but we're due for a final decision on these products, I think, sooner rather than later at this point.
Yeah, it's probably hard because, like you said, there's a lot of businesses. We see them everywhere. I've seen them in the West Loop, obviously, you know, walking around, and so a lot of businesses are kind of at the helm of what's going to happen here. You know, switching subjects here because this is a big topic of conversation. The curfew proposal was introduced to City Council in response to that fatal shooting that happened with the Christmas tree lighting. Tell us about that. Tell us about the proposal. Do you think it's going to be well received?
I'm not too sure yet, but if history tells any tale of the future here, we've seen 2 attempts of these types of proposals already fail. One of them, I think the closest one, was the SNAP curfew from Alderman Brian Hopkins. He wanted to give the Chicago Police Department power to institute a teen curfew at any hour on a snap of a finger. That was shot down and actually vetoed by the mayor, a very rare move to see a veto from the mayor. Many concerns over that leading to kind of an open tool to be used for over-policing, racial bias elements to that. But now he's pushing a third measure outside after this fatal shooting downtown, in which he'd have a time and place curfew. So he'd be allowed to put a 4-hour curfew. The Chicago Police Department would be allowed to put a 4-hour curfew as long as they give 12 hours notice beforehand that they might do this curfew. And I think that would really, if you ask the alderman, that would have really benefited this past situation where there had been, you know, a bunch of viral TikToks amongst teens telling them to go downtown for the tree lighting before this fatal shooting happened. So it's definitely a softer proposal than the one we've seen before. But if given the past history on this, it seems like the city council has had a really hard time taking any action on this. There's just a lot of division around it.
I've always been so curious. You know, these pop up online, and sometimes you can go back to the original person that posted it. I'm just surprised there's been no legal action of being able to track that person down through an IP address or something. Just my own personal opinion on that. But anyways, let's move on. So lastly, the Federal Transit Administration, they're threatening the Chicago Transit Authority with funding, saying that they may withhold funding if the agency doesn't implement a verifiable security and 19th. The time is ticking. This is in response to that fire, sadly, where the woman was caught on fire on the train. Tell us about this particular funding. If it's gone, what does that mean?
it means a lot, especially for an agency like the CTA, which is not a city agency per se. It's a sister agency, so it draws its funding from all three levels of government: city, state, and federal government. I believe the federal government sometimes accounts for almost a third of all of CTA's funding, and particularly for capital projects. We see one coming up, which the State and Lake station downtown, kind of a hallmark city station, an entrance into Chicago by the Chicago Theater. That's going to be closed for the next 3 years, and that project, that will be a $444 million renovation of that station, is 90% federally funded. So this money, it means a lot more to the CTA. It's a lot less Trump-proof than other parts of our city. So making up this difference, the CTA, I think, is going to take a very serious approach in responding to this letter.
Well, and I know that there's probably some words being said by Pritzker and by Johnson over this too. I think I heard, you know, there's probably going to be a strong reaction because, hey, this is their money not coming to a very major part of our city, the L.
Yeah, I mean, this money is important for the daily operations and the improvement of CTA stations, but we've seen this before in Charlotte. Unfortunately, there are these instances of violent crime, and some of them, you know, turn into national outrage. So it seems as if kind of the federal foils to Chicago are taking this opportunity and running with it.
Yeah, there's been crime on the CTA, not to overshadow this fire, but there have been crimes that have been committed on the CTA prior to this. So it's always interesting, and it's worth asking the question, why now? You know, the federal government threatening the CTA with funding. Why now? Because there's been issues of security and questions on the CTA about, you know, people feeling safe, people riding, you know, mass transit and not feeling safe. So I think we can all surmise what that's about, but nevertheless, here we are. Mac, any other things that you're working on that you can talk about? I know we talked about those 3 things, but anything else you can talk about that's going on?
Well, right before I started talking to you guys, I was at a press conference for a lawsuit filed by CBD officer Celeste Rivas' family. That's the officer who was shot and killed in the line of duty. And she's suing the Chicago Police Department, but also her partner. New details show that her partner and Celeste Rivas, they had a romantic relationship that was ended shortly before the fatal incident. And they say that Carlos Baker was the other officer on our team, was had a history of reckless behavior, should have never been in an advanced tactical unit to begin with. And when he fired the shot that killed his partner during a chase incident, that he left her there to die. That's her quote, that he left her there to die. So new big lawsuit, new big revelations in that case that we'll be following.
Yeah, we had heard that for quite some time. And I don't think anybody could ever like officially confirm the relationship. But yeah, we've known that for quite some time. So that will be very interesting, especially if it goes to trial. You know, if there's any type of deposition, et cetera, of what will come out, you know, and what details will come out in that. And then also, it's worth the question of what did CPD know, you know, in all of this during the time that they were still together, you know, on the squad together, working. So it'll be very interesting. Well, we always appreciate your insight. We know you're always boots on the ground. You're doing the hard work, and we appreciate you joining the show today.
Yeah, you two guys, both of you are both great reporters too, so thanks for having me.
Thank you. That was very nice.
We appreciate you. All right, well, coming up, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk Pinkmas.
Pinkmas.
Doesn't that sound fun?
Yeah, I
think that's something Story would like, huh?
Pinkmas?
Pinkmas?
Yes, that's her favorite
Museum
color.
Ice cream?
Favorite color, favorite treat.
Okay, there you go. It's done.
Combo.
Okay, we're going to have information about that coming up because we want you to feel like Barbie, especially during Christmas time. All right, we'll see you in a second. back to Chicago Now, 11:32. How's your Thursday been?
It's good. Is it? I don't know.
It just started for you, I guess.
I just feel like I'm a little tired. You know, maybe a sugar rush, maybe some ice cream would
Did you see what I pulled out of my purse right before I came over here?
No, what did you pull out?
A little bit of Sour Patch Kids. You didn't hear me when I asked you if you wanted some. Yeah,
because I didn't hear you.
Oh, I had a little package. I've had it saved in there for a while, and I saw it. I'm like, you know what? A little sweet treat might wake me up.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Favorite ice cream.
Jeez.
I know, I really had to think about it. Cookie dough. Any kind of ice cream, I guess, honestly.
Mine would be pralines and cream, but I really like it when it's put into a shake form. It's even better.
Yum. You know what I had recently instead of float? A root beer shake, which is essentially the same thing, but it just was kind of fun. I was in shake form rather than a root beer float form.
Root beer one time.
What?
I can't do it.
You can't do it, Tia?
No.
Okay. I don't know about that.
My own.
Anyways, speaking of ice cream, the Museum of Ice Cream is bringing back its popular Pinkmas event for another immersive experience that'll have you feeling like Barbie. We're learning more about it with Dancy York, general manager of the museum. Let's see if Dancy's ready. Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
They're even better now talking with you. Tell us about this event. We know that you guys always have a lot going on, but what can people expect for Pinkmas?
Yeah, so Pinkmas is our annual holiday overlay at the museum. So we do a lot of transformative pop-up pieces, and it's really going to be like the new family tradition of the winter, I would say.
Dancy, let me ask you, you know, there's always these like pop-ups where people are doing things for Christmas. What makes Pinkmas different from any of the other stuff that's happening around the city?
Yeah, one of my favorite installations is we transform the museum into a forest of pink. So if you can imagine a pink forest, and in the center of that forest we have the tree wishes. So guests from all over different cities come in and write just different wishes, and we see some of the most wholesome things, and we display them in the museum on trees, and they hang up for the season.
Are you changing every single room in there? Because I know that, you know, there's, if I remember right, there's swings and such. Is every room kind of transformed somewhat into a Christmas theme?
Yeah, so every room has that winter touch, I would say. We're in the sprinkle pool right now, and above us is ornaments of candy canes. One of my other favorite pieces is the giant snow globe we have in our cloud room. So great for those family photo or last minute holiday greeting card moments.
Random side note, Dancy, I'm looking at your name tag there and it says brown butter. Is that your favorite ice cream? What is that about?
Yeah, so when you visit us at the Museum of Ice Cream, the main thing we ask is you transform yourself into a flavor of ice cream. Mine is brown butter. It's a nod to I love to cook. And yeah, you can pull from your favorite flavor, favorite topping, or favorite ice cream memory. But you are a scoop when you enter our building, and I'm brown butter when I'm here.
I love it. That is so funny. Plus, I just love your name in general. Dancy is just such a beautiful name. All right, so when people come for Pinkmas, how long should they come? Is a block of time should they leave for themselves? Is it a couple hours? Is it the afternoon? What is it?
Yeah, I would say about an hour and a half. But the ice cream, so you can go around endless times and retry flavors, try new flavors. People typically, you know, get lost sometimes, and they'll be here for upward of 2 hours.
Dancy, I'm looking at the environment there, and it looks like a greeting card / Instagram haven for folks. Are people able to come in there and spend time and take pictures? Because it just looks like that environment where people may want to come and take pictures for their greeting cards this year.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of attractive pieces in the museum to take photos. We encourage people to take photos. Myself and the team, like, you know, we'll give those like model pose recommendations for photos. But photos is something we love here. We have Polaroids in the space, so in some parts of the museum you'll have nice takeaways, but we definitely are photo friendly here. And definitely, like I said, check out the snow globe, because that's a great greeting card moment for the family.
You know, I kind of already know the answer to this, but in case people at home are kind of thinking, okay, Museum of Ice Cream, that sounds a little too kiddish for me. It's not just for kids, it's definitely for adults too, and you can, you know, have kind of a adult, maybe girlfriend hangout there.
Yeah, we definitely have a full bar in the space, and we have just a new overlay of holiday drinks. So definitely we see a lot of groups of girlfriends come in, dress in pink and do, your holiday gift exchange or anything like that with us as well. Try the Martini. That's our version of a winter espresso martini. It's my favorite on the menu.
Dancy, I must ask, you probably get really busy around this time of year. Maybe somebody wants to come, they want to spend time, in different parts of the museum. What would you say, or when would you say would be the best time for people to come where they can experience the museum and not feel like, oh, it's overcrowded and I can enjoy every inch of this space?
Yeah, I would say some of the best time is really utilizing that time, when people are on winter break from school, or taking those extra days during the holidays, because those are prime times during the week for us. The weekends are busy, but we do graded pacing. So even, if you want to spontaneously come in on a Sunday, there's space for everybody.
I love it.
If people want to come in, and I know that sometimes you have to get tickets ahead of time, correct? Or can you get them at the door? And then also, my second part of the question is, are you guys charging a little bit more for Pinkmas, or is it kind of included in the normal day-to-day pricing?
Yeah, so we definitely sell tickets at the door. We have scoops up there stationed to help assist with, those same-day spontaneous purchase. Museumoficecream.com is where people can pre-purchase those tickets. And ticket pricing is pretty consistent with normal pricing during the year. We try to keep it really close to, those busy season pricing, but, the ice cream is included, in the pricing, so it's not too crazy for the holidays.
I love it.
How long does Pinkmas run?
Yeah, so Pinkmas runs from now until January 19th. So great time if you're on winter break or taking some extra days off work to come in with the family up until January 19th.
I know you mentioned a lot of places or spaces in the Museum of Ice Cream, but is there one that you haven't mentioned that's just kind of a showstopper that people get so excited for no matter your age?
Yeah, I think one of our most popular areas is definitely the sprinkle pool. So we have this huge pool filled with sprinkles, and honestly, we have more adult swim, as we like to call it, than even just kid swim. So huge pool, great for photos, just really fun and nostalgic of, those pools growing up in different play places. So that's my favorite place. That's why we're doing the, interview here today. So.
Talk about the flavors of ice cream that you have, because, sometimes you go to an ice cream shop, they have 4 flavors. How many flavors do you guys have there?
Yeah, so we have over 20 flavors. So there's a lot of variety, whether you are, dairy-free, kosher. One of my favorite flavors we have for the holidays right now is Raspberry Rendezvous, so that's a chocolate raspberry flavor. We do also, because we're Chicago, we have to have the iconic Italian ice in the building. And another popular favorite is our mini chipper ice cream sandwiches. So there's a little bit of something for everybody here.
I know that there's been like installments of the Museum of Ice Cream in other cities like Los Angeles, New York, obviously Chicago. Are they all a little bit different? Maybe if you've gone to one in say, Los Angeles, is Chicago's a bit different, or are they kind of, the same, and you'd be visiting some of your favorites again?
Yeah, so every museum is a little bit different. They have some overlays that are unique to them. So like Chicago, obviously we're known for the iconic bean downtown, so we have a jelly bean room that plays homage to that. So there are different kaleidoscope. We play, the Chicago's house music in that room, and we also have the Italian ice flavor I mentioned before. It's super unique to Chicago, but every city, from Miami to New York, has something that's unique to the culture of their city.
Dancy, how many installations do you have there?
Yeah, so installations, we have over 10 different installations, and most of those were designed very well to be very photographed, to have those like moments that you can remember with your family. We do see a lot of people who came in over the summer and came back because the museum, we're doing our holiday pop-up with Pinkmas, and it feels transformative as, a completely new museum.
I want some ice cream now.
Yeah, now I'm hungry. Thanks a lot, Dan Steve. You're right down the street, though.
Hey,
so.
it's lunchtime, you know.
Right?
It's perfect time for ice cream. It's right around lunchtime.
But here's the thing. I had some donuts this morning from Stan's at Lori Children's. I've had some candy, so I think the sugar is done for today. So this weekend, I'll be at Pinkmas. One more time, where can people get tickets?
Yeah, people can get tickets at museumoficecream.com, and we run through January 19th for the Pinkmas.
Nancy York, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on Chicago Now today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, it was a pleasure. We got to go out there.
We do. You know what's funny, though, Tia? When you asked me at the beginning of the segment what my favorite flavor of ice cream is, I could not think of one flavor.
But you love ice cream.
I do love ice cream. So let me rebuttal this. I've had lavender ice cream before, which was so good. I do love cake batter ice cream, which I know is kind of a kid flavor. I mean, the options are endless. I like the lemon ice cream, too. So let me take that back.
Do you like sprinkles?
I love sprinkles.
I used to like sprinkles too.
And now you're mature?
No. And then I saw something on Instagram about how it's made. I don't know if that's true.
Don't send it to me.
But I was like, what? But my daughter loves sprinkles, so I still let her have them.
Okay, I think that's a good place
only
for
live
story.
once, okay?
It is so Instagrammable. When I think of Museum of Ice Cream, sometimes I think millennial, and that's why I'm like, you know what? I know that this is for adults.
Yeah.
And of course, it's for kids too, of any age. I love it.
All right. Well, coming up, we are talking to a reality show star. If you watch Laguna Beach, The Hills, I'm not going to say his name because that's a tease. You probably have seen his face, and we're going to introduce you to him right after this short break. So stay with us.
Hiya, Bobby. I'm
Welcome back to Chicago Now.
After talking Pinkmas, I'm ready for Christmas.
Okay, so have you finished your Christmas shopping?
You know, I did a little bit last night. I would say I'm pretty much done, actually. And that says a lot because in years past, I have been so notorious for ordering things last minute and it like barely getting there. And I've done the thing where you print out the like receipt of it and like, yeah, this is coming in the mail, just so you know.
So, and you've handed it to the person.
Yeah.
Gabby, that's awful.
I know, it's horrible.
I'm not gonna lie,
It's only to people that are close to me.
So I will be honest, today was my first day shopping. And I actually feel bad about this, but good at the same time. You know, we have the giving tree downstairs in the lobby, and there are plenty of children within the Salvation Army that are asking for very simple things. And it was so easy to shop for those children that I picked. So I shopped for them first because I hate to say it, my own family, they're a little difficult to shop for because you don't know all the time what to get. So I got their stuff. And I already told you, Story, I'm sorry, Story, when you grow up, maybe you'll see this video somewhere. You're getting rehashed gifts from your birthday. You have not played with them. I'm going to wrap them in Christmas paper. And I just don't feel the need to overdo it. So I'm going to get one thing.
There you go.
That's the next playground.
Okay.
I've talked about that. And then early, I think I'm going to have to go to the mall. Like,
it's probably
hit the mall
hard,
and try
right?
to figure it. I don't know what to do.
But you guys have some maybe trips coming up, right? Could you do something like an excursion with a trip?
I'm not doing that anymore. The last time I bought him a trip for a gift, I got pregnant and we couldn't go. So, and I'm never getting pregnant again. That's not going to happen. But my point is that you buy it and then it's like, well, if I can't use it now, what's the point? So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe you guys have some suggestions of something
send us
personal. I got nothing. How many days we got? Today's the 11th?
I know.
Is today the 11th?
I think it is.
14 days until Christmas.
That's crazy.
2 weeks.
I actually also ordered on Amazon some stuff for that same angel tree, and it is.
And it comes this next day.
It is nice because I saw the deadline's going to be on Monday, but and that also got me, shopping for others too, and got me thinking of some ideas, which is great. But you're right. That is, if you see a tree, a Salvation Army tree, make sure you grab something off there. Because like we said with Lori Children's, of course, they're making such a big difference. But there's other things you could do during the Christmas season. That's part of giving.
Last question before we go to our interview. What do you want?
What do I want?
I know what I want, but...
Oh, so this is actually a big one. And I said, no one judge me. No one judge me. I'm asking to go to Disney World.
Oh, that's right.
Because my mom and I went to Disneyland, a few times when I was growing up because we lived in Southern California, and I love Disneyland. And so I want to go there, even though I don't have any kids. Don't judge me. Yes, I'm that person. I know, but remember all that controversy on online saying that if you don't have kids, stay out of Disney World. Exactly. I'm going to behave myself. Okay, I'm not going to wear a crop top over at Disney World.
Well, you should. If you go when it's hot, you're going to need a crop top.
You're right, actually. So maybe I should take that back because I'm going to wear whatever I want.
Don't go in August.
But
I learned.
I am going in the spring, and I am so excited.
I love that.
That's my answer.
Something that's probably easy to get.
Okay, we're going to be talking about a big throwback here. Are there any shows from like the early 2000s that you think about often?
I watch these shows. I watch The Hills.
Yeah.
I watch Laguna Beach.
How about like off MTV? Like, do you remember Silent Library and stuff?
Well, you probably don't remember this. Real World.
Real World. No, actually I did. See, here's the thing. My siblings are 10 years older than I am, so I was watching a lot of stuff when I shouldn't have. No, you're not.
I'm 5 years.
But I shouldn't have, or one, who knows. But a lot of these shows I've been watching, and I really shouldn't have been watching. But, it's with my other older siblings. That was cool. They were cool.
Yeah.
They let the little sister hang out.
These shows really set the tone for, like, how we would dress in a lot of cases. Everything. So we want to show you this clip. Before we talk to Jason Waller, we're flashing back to reality TV when it was, sometimes I feel like this era was a little bit better than what we're watching right now. Let's take a look.
Good summer. I love you.
I love you too.
People went crazy over Lauren and Jason.
Did.
Yeah, and if you'll remember that was that iconic last scene of The Hills season 1 when Lauren decided that she was going to spend the summer with Jason over an internship in Paris. Let's welcome Jason Waller onto our show. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Oh, look at you.
You have not aged a bit.
Look at you. What are the secrets, sir?
No kidding.
What are the secrets to youth?
Hey, sobriety, I'll tell you that much. Sobriety changes everything.
I love it. And congratulations, because it says here you're less than a week away from 6 years of sobriety and that anniversary. So really, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very grateful to be here. And hey, I'm really grateful you guys are open and willing to talk about, about recovery, about sobriety. I think it's much needed, and again, I'm really grateful to be here. It was a trip to see that video play. We just had our 20-year reunion.
Wow.
Last week, which was crazy to see everybody from high school. So it was a blast, though. It was good to see everybody. Everybody's doing well.
Oh, you made me just think about my. I remember those shows like it was yesterday. Let me ask you, your journey of sobriety. Did you feel like, sometimes we've seen people, especially in reality TV, where they feel like that camera in their face, following their lives, can really trigger, them in terms of sobriety. Was that an issue for you at all? Are you able to hear me, Jason?
myself, though, is, I mean, I struggled. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we do hear you. Go ahead.
Seems like we might be breaking up a little
Sorry about that. So, no, the thing about me is, I mean, it definitely added fuel to the fire.
Okay, you're back. You're back. Go ahead. We can hear you now.
You got me?
Yeah, we heard fuel to the fire. That was the last
Yeah,
word.
so it added fuel to the fire, but ultimately, I mean, I struggled way before those shows ever happened. I mean, as the ages of 12, 13 years old, I struggled with severe mental health issues. I had underlying OCD. I used to wash my hands compulsively until they would bleed, or I'd have to put neoprene gloves on. And it was a big journey, right? And so, I mean, I had a very supportive family, very, you know, loving and caring parents, you know, who I saw every doctor under the sun. You know, ultimately, they prescribed me medication that helped mitigate the symptoms, but, you know, lo and behold, never dealt with the underlying issue, and I found alcohol, and it just started to progress. And then over the course of time, obviously, as I'm addressing and dealing with this stuff, prior to the show coming out, I was in Utah at a board age and time in their life, and you throw them on national television. I mean, it was something that added fuel to the fire for sure.
Wow, I'm just happy to know that you're so open about having the conversation and talking about it. Tell us how you've arrived at 6 years. What's your advice? You know, we're about to be in the holiday season. People go to these parties. Maybe sometimes you do battle with, you know, overly drinking or whatever. What do you tell them to kind of like get over that hump, especially around the holidays? And some people feel loneliness too. Yeah. That can drive addiction.
No, for sure. And I mean, for myself personally, the holidays it's a good time for me. I'm not going to say that there weren't times that I didn't go through trials or tribulations when I was in my active addiction. But something that my recommendation for anybody in sobriety is structure and consistency create safety, right? And I want to say that again, is structure and consistency create safety. So you have to have some type of program. Like it even says in the Bible, you know, in Proverbs, it talks about, you know, a city without walls, or it's a man without structure is like a city without walls, and you're just leaving yourself open to all different things to be able to come at you. And so I've learned, because I had multiple years of sobriety and I relapsed, and so I ended up looking at it, and what's predictable is preventable. And so after having 5-6 years of sobriety, I was able to look back and say, hey, look, obviously the things that were the highest priorities in my life that were part of my program fell off course. And so for me, like, one of the number one things that I can advocate for is consistency and structure create safety.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for being honest, because like Tia said, you know, it takes a lot, especially this time of year. Maybe there are temptations. Maybe you are in sobriety too at home, and there's going to be a temptation during the holidays. So it's good to hear from someone like you. Did you know right away through your journey of sobriety that you'd want to, you know, be that spokesperson, or did it take a couple years for you to actually talk about it with folks?
Well, I wasn't really given the choice to kind of like hide behind, you know, what the option was. I mean, I went through a very public battle with addiction, so it was kind of, I really look at it as it was a unique opportunity. I mean, I think God's got an interesting way of navigating things, and I really believe that your greatest deficits can become your greatest assets, because no, when I was growing up, the last thing I thought I would ever be doing is advocating for substance abuse or mental health. But I've found such purpose in it, and I found such passion. And, you know, I'd say like one of the greatest gifts around this whole thing is since I got sober, I'm the youngest of 4 kids. We have a very large family. But since I got sober, 8 family members have gotten sober. And so it's just been a really cool testament to kind of see how things have gone and where I'm at today. Beyond blessed, that is for sure. But, you know, I think it's crazy looking back as I reflect, and like, you know, now that some time has passed, it's just sad because addiction is the leading cause of death in America for 50-year-old individuals and younger. There's a lot of people out there that struggle. And I just look back at everything that I would have missed had I not gotten sober, because I was right towards, you know, death's door, if you will, just with how much I was using. Just, and again, my addiction took me not to contemplation, but attempting suicide. The car accidents I was getting in, the altercations, the different things. There's a lot of susceptibility to, you know, a lot of danger, if you will. So it's just crazy to kind of reflect and to see how fortunate I am to be able to have a life in recovery. And it's just such a gift.
Well, we feel blessed to even have you share your story with us.
Thank you so much.
And we saw that people can follow you at Jason Waller on social media. Thank you so much for your time today and coming on our show.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having me.
All right. Honor.
It definitely.
Good news.